Okay. One more quick. Oh wait, no, that's not on. So 6 months ago, you came in for neuropathy, and you've been dealing with diabetic-based neuropathy. So tell us what it was like when you first walked in, and just what you were experiencing based on your health, symptoms, weight, and just where you were feeling and what you were worried about.
So my weight when I came in was about 385, pushing 400 pounds, worst that it had ever been. My blood sugar, my A1C before I came in was 12, which is extremely high. I didn't even bother checking my blood because, it was probably fasting at a 200, which is crazy. I felt lethargic all the time. I was tired. I was literally, passing out rather than falling asleep, waking up multiple times at night. So I wasn't getting good quality sleep. Massive inflammation, my joints. It was hard to walk, hard to maintain balance, etc.
So you couldn't really work as much, because you're on your feet and you're standing a lot.
Yes.
And what were you worried about it going and what affecting?
I mean, my father was diabetic and he ended up in a wheelchair, and I don't want to end up like that. I saw the problems that came to him, and everything was setting with me 10 years earlier than it did with him. So, I knew that I was on that path and I had to break it.
Yeah. And so, in terms of what our program had to offer, why did you choose our program over everything else that's out there, and what impact do you feel it's had on your journey?
Yeah. Honestly, I was just, I got to this breaking point where I was just like, I'm fed up with this. My feet are getting so tingly and numb and painful. I couldn't sleep at night. I'd wake up at night with foot pain. It was awful. And I don't want to take drugs or anything like that. And I said, all right, what kind of natural avenues can I take to fix this? And I came across your website and started looking through what you guys had to offer. I checked out testimonials. I did my own research, my own due diligence, and had a talk with you and started to progress from there.
And what impact has it had on you throughout your care? You're 6 months in, you've improved by 12% since you first started. So what changes have you seen, and what impact has the program had on?
So I lost a total of right around 65, 70 pounds since being on the program. I went from a 12 on my A1C to 1 month in the program was my second measurement, and I measured at like an 8.8. And then 4 months into the program, I measured again, and I was in normal range. I was like 4.8 or 5 or whatever, right around there. So I mean, I'm looking at getting off my meds now, which I never thought that would be possible. In addition, I'm walking better. The inflammation's under control. All those. I have more energy throughout the day. I'm not napping during the day. I don't need to. It's the changes have been phenomenal.
And you're walking more and standing on your feet.
Yeah.
You said you had a trip planned, and you're going to Italy, and you're going to do a lot of walking.
A lot of walking. I mean, they even warn you, there's going to be, miles and miles of walking and blah, blah, blah. And, 6 months ago, I'd look at that trip and I'd think of it as a daunting thing. Like, I mean, I would do it no matter what and suck it up and drive on. But, I mean, at this point, I don't have to.
Yeah.
I know I can do it.
Yeah.
So.
And you said that you have had some troubles, in terms of staying on the program, because it does require a commitment.
Right.
This is one of those programs that you get out of it what you put into it. If you put in the work, you've seen the results. You've already seen that. So what trouble have you had, and do you feel like our advice and our program has helped you through it in any way?
So I think the biggest issue that I had was, I'm when I set my mind to something, I do it, and I follow through, and I have discipline, et cetera, et cetera. And I think the issue for me has been time.
Yeah.
I own my own business. I'm busy 18, 20 hours a day sometimes. Most days I work 7 days a week, and 100 hours plus a week many times. So to find the time to do the treatments is often difficult. So I'll squeeze in, I'll do a half a treatment, or I'll do whatever I can. If I was able to, and this is out for everybody, if you can put dedicate the time. If you're not working a hectic schedule like me, if you're working anything less than me, you can do those treatments. Yeah. You got to set your mind to it. You got to be disciplined. You got to suck it up and just do it, and you're going to see better results than I've seen. Because I know that if I was able to do that, I'd be far advanced to what I am now.
Yeah. And you said diet-wise, you were worried about it because you were worried about, you had tried stuff similar to it before, and you just like...
I've done keto before, dirty keto. You know, a trainer actually put me onto it when, you know, it was probably 8-9 years ago now, and my diabetes wasn't nearly as bad as it was now. And I remember driving one day, and I had to pull over. I felt like I was drunk. Yeah. I had to pull over, and I crawled into a convenience store, grabbed a Hershey bar and an orange juice, and just laid in the aisle and just wolfed it down to try to get my blood sugar back up, because that's what I felt like. I felt like I was crashing. Yeah. And similar in this diet, you know, I was where my fasting was like in the 200s. As you progress on the diet, you eliminate everything. Like you're down to the bare basics. Yeah. And I watched I could feel that change. Yeah. You know, where I thought I was in that same moment, and I would check my blood and it was like 160, and I felt like it was like 2. Yeah. Like I thought I was crashing. Yeah. And you just, you know, push through that, and your body adjusts, and then the next time it was like 100. And now my blood sugar is normal range all the time. Yeah.
And do you feel like our supplements and guidance helped you through those moments?
Absolutely. I think the best thing, hands down, and I love this stuff, and if I can get it every day for the rest of my life, I will. It's the Vasal Pro. That stuff is awesome. It helps me with my blood pressure. My blood pressure has been normal. I've been medicated for 20 years on blood pressure. I was a cop, so you know it was a very stressful environment and workplace, and my blood pressure had been high since my early 30s. Yeah. And I went in the doctor, and it was normal the last time. Yeah. And I don't think it's got something to do with the diet, yes, but the Vasal Pro, I think, is next level. Yeah. It's such a good supplement.
And it's always a combination. You know, like you eating well allows and the body working right allows everything to work better. Yep. But I know your goal is to hike Mount Washington again. Mm-hmm. I know Italy will be a good testament to whether or not you might be able to do that. Yep. But I look forward to having a picture of you on the wall.
Absolutely.
With the result of it. But do you doubt that there is any doubt that you will be able to get to that point on this program?
I'm getting there. Yep.
All right. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.